and welcome back to the U Up Podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. So good to be back here with you, Jordana. What's going on? I mean, we're talking before taping here.
We're talking before taping. This comes out the week between Christmas and New Year's, which is widely known as the week of absolute nothingness.
Nothing. Calories don't count. Alcohol's just water.
Work is a joke.
Work is a joke. That's right. It's the best. It's a confusing. How do you feel about that week? Do you ever have that moment where you're like, I should be doing something? Do you feel any stress from it? I go back and forth.
I feel like it goes by fast, and then when it goes by so fast, you're kind of like, oh, like a regular week goes by so fast.
Right.
Just like it's done.
When you got nothing to do,
right.
Time flies when you're having fun, you know?
I guess. I don't know. I feel like it's I like the week. I actually kind of like that I'm not going anywhere this year.
What's the plan? You just hanging in the woods?
Just gonna relax. Yeah, hang in the woods, relax. I've got like some errands. I feel like I've got like a lot of like errands and stuff to do, but I can do them at my own pace.
Right.
And I think I've said this on the show. I like going away in like February, March more than I like going away in December.
Right. This time of year, it's just nice.
It's nice here.
It is cold. It's like sitting with a hot.
There's
cup
stuff to do
of Joe.
in December.
There is stuff to do.
Right. As opposed to January.
Right.
The longest month of the year.
The long winter starts right after that. So you do want something to look forward to too.
Right. So I'm okay with my decision. It's you got a little FOMO when you see all the beach pics of everyone away.
Right.
But then you just got to remember mine's coming.
I'll get them.
I feel that way in the beginning. You know, you see that like in the summer months, and then you start to see people in Europe and like going away on nice trips.
There's a point where it's like, are we going to be watching these people forever?
I think so.
Do you know what I mean? Like I was watching.
You gotta mute them eventually. Once it's funny on Instagram. Once you mute someone, it's like they cease to exist.
Some people listening might be thinking about that about me. You know, maybe they've muted me, and
I'm sure people have muted both of us.
Right? They're like, I do the podcast. I don't need this. I'll tune in when I want to tune in.
But I feel like those people would just unfollow. Like, I wouldn't know if they unfollowed me. I wouldn't be like offended.
It's
more like the people that know you that would be weird if you unfollowed that I mute.
If you know them, you can't.
Yeah, you can't unfollow.
That's too strong.
You have to mute.
I was just looking at one person, and I was like, because when we were like coming out of college, like it was an embarrassment to like pursue internet fame. Like it was like to become like the punchline was like, are you starting a dating blog?
Start a blog.
Yeah, starting a blog was like a punchline.
Which is how Betches started.
Right. But you're the reason. Yeah. Probably hundreds of thousands of people tried
their own. Right. There used to be like a lot more blogs. It's crazy.
Well, now it went blogs to Twitter to Instagram to TikTok. Like, and now it's like an open. There's no embarrassment to Gen Z, and there's. I envy
is there none?
that. It doesn't seem like that. Like to be like, this account is just me being an influencer. You're like, I guess you're going for it, and then like there's certain people I'm watching. I'm like, so am I going to watch this person for? Do they think I'm going to like tune into their lives of doing nothing forever?
How does it start? Like you wake up one day and you decide.
It starts with your parents having money.
Okay.
Like Step one.
Be born rich.
Born rich. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, because I'm thinking of one specific person where I'm like they were talking about like, I've been on, dates this year and I'm hoping to find the one. And I'm like, why do I fucking care about this person finding the one? Like, why? So I can watch them.
Who asked for this?
Right. So I can watch them go to Europe with this new.
Someone asked for
fucking
this.
Nothing dude. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess. And people cheer them on. I go to the comments. I'm like, who are these idiots?
Right.
Why, am I the idiot?
Well,
I don't know. This time of year, I get like fed up with the like, and I don't know.
The amazing. I mean, the good and bad thing about the internet is that anything you can do, you can find. Anything you do, there will be probably at least 5 people who are really into it, telling you they love it.
Right. And that's like the thing you have to like be careful of.
Right. Because there's 5 people who will tell you they love anything that you say or do.
Right.
Because just by nature of the fact that all those people can see it, and there's gonna be at least, and those people will tell you. So you're like, oh, well, this is a thing. This is my thing now.
This is right. This is how you get bad at stand up. Like not to, like this is when you start performing for your own audience only. They tell you like. Yeah, they'll like anything you do. They know you. It's like telling a story to a friend versus a stranger.
You're in your bubble, right?
Not to turn this into a name drop festival, but I opened for Jon Stewart and Tom Segura last night
Okay.
in New Jersey. And
Which was amazing.
it was awesome. You're in a theater,
Saw the pic.
1,400 people, 4 shows, you know, so,
100, wow.
right, on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. And, you know, Jon Stewart and Tom Segura, two of the most talented, great comics, and also just
More than that,
huge, famous people, right?
More
importantly, can fill 1,400 seats on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. So it was interesting because, like, I do my own shows, you know, like you go from the weekend of, you know, me in Albany in front of 17 people who know me, like we're going to have fun. And then you go to like, you know, and then you have someone that opens for you and you hear the crowd, like they sound pretty good, you know, whatever. And then you go out and it's like, the headliner, and then I went and opened for them, and it's like you have people still sitting down while you're on stage,
right?
And you got to fight through, like
it's humbling.
Oh,
probably.
get rid of it. Yeah. Well, that's why if you're really doing stand up, it's hard to like be too up on yourself,
right?
Because if you go in front of audiences, and I'm like on stage, you could see like the guy being like, "Did you get the drinks?" Like they're like, the opener's almost done. Come on, the real show's about to start.
Right.
You know, you kind of see people look over you, and you're like, you know, fighting through it to get people on the same page so you set the table for those two people. And it's like, you know, when you think of it that way, it's like the internet is kind of like your own audience. Like these people are used to you. They know you. They'll cheer for you. Oh my God, you went on a date? Let me hear about it. And it's like, and then you end up on like the For You page and you see all these commenters like, what the fuck? Who cares about this shit?
Right. Well, you get like an inflated sense of your own importance. I think everyone needs to go through a period where they learn, I think, if you're an internet person,
right,
where they learn like how to navigate what people actually like versus like what's real versus what's 5 people on the internet.
I know. I mean, you see the people who popped off on TikTok and it's like all seemed to happen around 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And then that kind of died down. You can kind of see them having this like public meltdown like in real time. And you're like seeing them go through like the numbers changing, the feeling, you know, we know the feeling of a good post versus a bad post. And I don't know if they'll ever, like, to me, the TikTok people are more like child stars. Like they got this immediate bump in people with not really any like pursuit involved. Mm-hmm. They'll tell you it's a pursuit. They'll say, you know, they'll tell you about their, you know, whatever mental illness. Around. Yeah. But I'm saying like, you know, they'll play up their story, but the story is 2020 people were just like, here you go, boom.
Right.
And now it's like, oh shit, it's not what it used to be. I'm hearing from other people. My videos didn't pop off as much. And you're like,
I don't,
right. It's the, I must have been doxxed or blacklisted or whatever it is. But you kind of see that shit and you go, oh, I don't know if that group will ever like understand.
Recover. Well, what would they be? I wonder what everyone will be doing in 20 years. What were the TikTokers?
We'll probably all be dead. No, no.
Well, happy holidays.
Happy New Year. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's I think a lot of people have a bleak outlook for 20 years from now.
Well, there's going to be something new, and then the next generation's going to be on that thing.
Right.
Right.
Flick flock, whatever the fuck.
Flick flock.
And I'll be watching.
Screaming it.
Also, how do they get to go to
Europe? You'll be on
Europe?
it, trying to find your wigs to get popular on it as well.
Right. I'll be dressed as grandma doing some sort of joke.
Yeah, unless you become the Golden Bachelor.
That's where this all leads.
To your nomination?
To my nomination as the Golden Bachelor.
What is the minimum age you need to get on? Like, if there's a Golden Bachelorette,
I would think in your 60s.
Is that?
Well, that was the Gary thing. Every woman, no one was below 60.
You have to be above 60.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I mean, I'm up for a Golden Bachelorette. I would love to see that.
They should have a middle-aged bachelor.
Well, I do think I can't believe we talked about this on the Bachelor today. Is that I can't believe they didn't learn from it. Like this was so popular, the Golden Bachelor, and look at the emails that we received to go on a date with little old me.
Right.
You know, like all those people were fun and like looking for something. You know, me, I'm just the
You're
idiot.
fun and looking for something.
Sure, but I'm like I don't think that they're like yearning for me. They're like, I want to go out, have a fun time, go on a nice date. You know, like
I think they think they're the match for you.
You think, I don't know. I kind of took it as like, you know, this is fun, whatever. I think those same people would apply to the regular Bachelor. Like if there was a like I just can't believe.
I think they think they know you though more.
Fair. But I even that, I'm just saying like,
right.
We watched the Golden Bachelor. I connected more to Gary than I do to any Bachelor contestant.
Why?
It was just a more normal pursuit. Like
Right.
it was not, and the women on there were like more like just rational, like and seemed to know. They were like, yeah, I'm just looking for someone to hang with.
I
Like
think it evens the score when you're both dating at that age, because you're both are on the same biological timeline at that point,
yeah,
right? There's no one. Everyone there is like already done having kids.
they did it.
Everyone
Yeah.
there
This
is like
about a
already
hang.
been married or already, I assume most of them, already like kind of done that. Everyone, the two of them, both people, once you get to 60 plus, are really on the same projected timeline for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, we're looking for someone to just sit in a house with. Is really the goal.
So I'm saying, I think that makes it easier.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm looking for. Someone to just sit in a house with.
Right.
If I'm to talk about my own dating life.
You're looking for kids eventually.
Sure,
Wife, whatever.
yeah, but I'm saying like, I hope I look at kids in the same way I look, like I'm with someone where we're like, we're just sitting in a house with these two plants growing. Like I hope it's more fun than, trying to like go for the next thing. Like, are we going to get into the elementary school? Are we going to get into the college? Like, I don't know.
So you want to be the parents who don't care about their kids.
Yeah, I want it to be a fun hang. They better be chill.
Well, Kelly, Tarot Reader, said you're going to be a baby on a horse.
A big,
naked baby
fat,
on a horse.
naked baby on a horse.
That's going to be you and your son.
I think I will excel as in that position.
Naked baby on a horse.
Yeah, I think I'll excel as a father figure, husband. I'll really dig into being a big idiot with like a funny opinion every now and again.
I could see that. Almost like sitcom dad.
I could feel sitcom dad, yeah. I really will dig into doing not much, but I'll have a lot of opinions on how things.
Wow,
kind of like
the
how
best,
this goes.
Isn't that the best mix? In the father figure, yeah, women love that.
But good thing they already emailed in.
All my friends with that's always the most flattering thing they can say. He does absolutely nothing, but he comments on all of it.
That's kind of I don't know. People really took offense. There was a person that took me saying that I drink in an Uber, that I was basically saying that I. Did you see that on YouTube?
No, what did they say?
Someone comment. I guess I mentioned that I have a drink in an Uber every now and again.
Okay.
And they were like, "Oh my God, Jared! Like
you don't have a flask."
We went over the flask. Well, did you take away that I was like had a problem because I was having a drink in an Uber?
No.
You never heard of such a thing?
I guess where are you going with the?
I'm not having a drink in an Uber for everywhere I go.
Well, that's a big difference.
No, I'll have a coffee in an Uber. I'll have a soda, but I'll also have a drink.
Okay.
Like sometimes, like if I'm in like Florida and like my family, we're going out for dinner. My dad will be like, "Okay, we're going out to dinner 7:00." My mom and I will get in my dad's car with a drink in our hand, like having a cocktail.
I think it's also different when you're not alone.
Yeah, that's fair. But I don't know. It was taken in such a way that like Jared. Ooh.
The immediate thought is like, oh, you're going to the doctor's office. You're just grabbing your, your
My
four
beer.
Loko on the way. Like that's, I think, your picture you have is like that.
That's how
sort of
people see me.
No, I think anyone who's like, yeah, I'm drinking on the way to something else. I'm like, well, where are they going? Like, what are they?
Right.
Yeah.
What's the reason here? I guess I can understand that, but I don't know.
Good.
Yeah, so I'm staying here too.
Nice.
I'm gonna do the week in between
York.
here. Well, I was gonna go maybe to Florida, and I called my dad, and I was like,
He was like, don't come.
"No."
Monica's
he said,
over
he,
already.
He goes, "Are you?" This is an actual conversation. He goes, "Are you coming?" No, he goes, "I watched you on Good Morning Football. I go on Good Morning Football, and like,
yes.
I dress. You saw I dress as
It's
a turkey.
Yeah, you're really on your costume game this week.
This is the time of year, so I dress as a turkey. My dad calls me. He goes, so you're gonna come down here for Christmas? And I was like, maybe I'll come Christmas Day and then stay until, I go to San Diego. And he goes, okay, cool. Saw you on Good Morning Football. I go, yeah, what'd you think? He goes, love the content. You looked horrible. and I go, okay, noted. That's all.
Horrible. What did he think looked horrible?
Well, I'm in a turkey suit, by the way. Like, I mean, like, what? I don't even know.
That's not what you look like. You're like, I don't normally
I was like,
look like a turkey.
I said, I'm in a turkey suit. I was kind of like fucking around. He goes, no. Your face looked full in the turkey suit. Like, he goes, you could have looked nice in the turkey suit. This is an actual conversation. And I go, okay, your opinion is noted. Anything else? Like, okay,
Right.
now that we've had that.
Did you get this stuff in like middle school? Was this the commentary then too?
It must have been, but maybe I didn't hear it.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like maybe this is why I am who I am today.
Right. I mean, I think that would do a number on your self-esteem if you were younger.
I would assume as well.
I mean, if you
like,
were a woman, that would be like,
yeah, I don't know.
brutal.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
like if you know, if a woman told me this story about her parents talking to her like that, I would be like, oh my God.
right. I guess.
I think it's maybe better, easier because you're a man.
Well, I just said, okay, that's one opinion.
Right.
Like that was my response. I go, opinion noted. That's one opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I go, happy you enjoyed the content.
Right.
And then he
Well,
goes,
it'd be one thing if you said, "How do you think I looked?"
well,
you didn't-
no, I did not ask that. That is a question I would never fucking ask anyone in my entire life. So but I go, and then he goes, okay, so when are you coming down? And I go, oh, well, we'll see. I was like,
Forget it.
I've taken away my petition to fly down to Florida at that point. But
All right. Well, they lost you. Jokes
could
on
have
them.
had fun. Yeah. Listen, if you want this
Could have been riding around in
sitcom
Ubers
dad, yeah,
and
having a drink,
lemon citron.
chill.
What is it? Absolute citron.
Absolute citron, yeah. That's my drink of choice.
Yeah.
Anything else? Should we talk about anything else? I don't know. What are we doing?
I don't
here?
know. Is anyone even listening? There's a week of absolute. This is the week of nothingness.
I think we're giving them the energy that people want on this week of nothingness.
Which is just like
chill.
no one knows what the fuck anyone's saying or doing.
They're probably like getting out of the house, taking a walk. Like someone right now is taking a walk in the cold, being like, "Thank you guys
Gotta
for
get
like,
out of here."
right, get me out of this house."
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's talk, what are we talking about? Oh, I'm on the road. Can people come to my shows so that I don't have to?
I don't know. Can they? You guys
Please?
let us know. I feel like you sell out.
Depending.
Okay.
Not in
All
Albany.
right, where are we having issues?
We're having issues everywhere. No, I'm coming to. If you're listening now, I'm coming to San Diego this weekend.
Okay. Are there tickets left?
Yes.
Okay.
End the week of nothingness with me in San Diego, and would love to have you. It's gonna be good shows.
Sunny City.
Houston, Texas. That was added late, so if you're in Houston, we need you.
What date?
The 5th and 6th of January.
Okay.
Madison, Wisconsin, which is like known as one of the best clubs in the country. Very excited.
Fun city.
Buffalo. We've talked a lot of shit about Buffalo on this podcast.
Are you paying for it now? The ticket sales?
We might be. This might.
Word has spread.
This might have come back to bite me in the ass. But I'll be in Buffalo. I will be there. New York added a second show, a late show.
That's not happening. That'll be fine.
Fabulous.
Filling up. Yeah.
Boston, second show added. Toronto, second show added. Chicago, second show added.
Wow.
Minneapolis, Royal Oak, Michigan. Okay, now we start to get weird. Ready?
Okay.
Boise, Idaho.
Got fans in Idaho?
We're about to
We'll
find out.
Okay.
Boise, Idaho.
Does your humor translate to Boise, Idaho?
This humor
We'll see.
goes everywhere.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be confident it will. I have to go in with confidence. I'll come out and give you the real story.
Okay.
Idaho.
There
Idaho.
you
Idaho.
go. Okay.
Olympia,
I'm sure no one in
Washington.
Idaho has heard that one.
Never heard
Right,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. So we're working on the jokes. Olympia, Washington, Vancouver, Denver, San Francisco, and then Los Angeles. I'm doing the Netflix is a Joke festival.
Yes.
That's a tough one because it's a big theater, but there's like a million shows that week. So if you're like, I'm only going to one show, how about you come to Papa JT's?
Yeah.
Right. And then Nashville also added New Orleans and Charleston.
Wow. Doing the South. Whole
I'm
South.
all over this country.
Look at that.
Oversharing.
Racking up those miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oversharing. Check it out. If you haven't checked it out yet, I'm sure you've thought about it.
I'm a fan. I listen
Thank
to it
you.
every week. It's great.
Thanks.
Oh, and Baby Steps.
And Baby Steps, check that out. That's a limited run, so the last episode should already be out by now. You can listen to the
Who is the
whole
final guest?
series.
Me. No. I came on to make fun of babies. I don't know.
What's
What a
everyone's
horrific
looking?
ending.
Yeah. Love that. So just dispel misinformation.
Right.
Where is the uterus? Jared comes on. We tell him where the uterus
Yeah,
is.
you teach me about.
We tell him how babies are born.
Ooh, the stork flies in. No, what is it? Who was the last episode?
We had Taylor Strecker. She's second to last, and Gabby Dalkin comes on as our final episode. She talks about secondary infertility. It's a great episode.
What's secondary infertility?
Secondary infertility is when you had one kid and it was fine, and then you're having trouble having the second kid.
Interesting.
Or the third.
What's Gabby known for?
Gabby has a great Instagram, TikTok, and she has cookbook. She does like she's like a chef.
It's great.
Yeah,
Love it.
great account. Check it out.
Amazing.
And Taylor Strecker, you guys know she's been on this show.
Hilarious. Awesome.
Great episode. Very funny. Really took the edge off the whole subject.
She
Taylor.
did?
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah, Taylor's great. Amazing. So this is all good. And the rebrand of J Train Podcast starts on the 1st. I haven't taped the first episode. I'm taping it next week.
Next week.
Very exciting.
Wow.
Yeah,
In
we're
your
getting
new
ahead.
studio.
New studio. I got all
Getting
my
out of the
costumes out of the apartment. I'm trying to live a real life here.
Getting into January.
I gotta bring a woman into this world.
Into this world?
Or the,
Oh, into
the
your
JCU,
world.
the
Okay.
J Train Cinematic Universe.
I'm like, did you get someone pregnant?
Bringing a baby. No.
Yeah, bringing a
knock
woman.
on everything.
There we go. Yeah, I don't know if you're the best Baby Steps guest. God forbid. Absolutely not.
What are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about dating a gamer or marrying a gamer.
A gamer.
A gamer.
Love it.
Guy plays a lot
We
of
haven't
games.
gotten into this subject. I have played video games.
Yeah.
I'm not a gamer.
I wouldn't think that. You don't feel like you wouldn't have the time. You don't like to just sit in your apartment.
No, I like to sit like
At a bar.
at bars
Yeah.
and drink the drink I brought from home.
Uber.
From the Uber and stare at my phone. No, I used to play Madden growing up. I would play, all the video games, but it has taken a different turn as far. Gamer went to a world that I didn't see coming.
Yeah.
Where it's like adults who like spend their days like headset on, talking to young kids and like getting angry at them.
I think
but
it's like a little bit of an addiction for a lot of people.
yeah, I mean, in the same way your phone is, in the same way alcohol, drugs,
Right.
it hits a certain pleasure center to like, let you forget about the ills in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that you do to distract you from something is just to distract you.
Yeah.
So, but the gamer thing is like, I know about it more from movies than my own life.
About like
Just
people
like
online.
like the idea of like the trope of like a woman being like, and he's always gaming. Like I like sports, but like I don't think I've ever like
You
watched.
haven't been in that world.
No,
Right.
and I've never like watched a football game, or at least I don't think to get away from the gal.
Right.
I don't think of like football as like
Escapism.
yeah, and as a problem that some woman has to deal with, as you kind of hear sometimes.
Right. I mean, that's a trope too.
Right.
But I think it's like with anything else. There's different levels of it. You hear more of this about like partying or someone. I'm sure you get the same thing about like going out or working at. You work
Doing shows.
doing shows, doing that kind of stuff. So there's always something to complain about. Relationships are fun. Let's. I'll read the email.
Let's read it.
J&J. This podcast has been keeping me sane and entertained. Thanks for all you do. Love 37 and single and oversharing, by the way.
Oh,
Thank
this
you.
is what a great opening.
Love it.
Got you, boo.
My husband and I are both in our late 20s.
Okay.
Have married for less than a year and together for 3. It's a quick marriage.
We'll turn around here.
Our relationship is great for the most part, but we have this lingering issue that keeps popping up. His gaming habit.
His gaming habit.
I mean,
Yeah.
sounds like
not
it's his,
hers.
yeah. We had multiple arguments and difficult conversations about him playing video games with friends after work for 3 to 4 hours per session. At the end, he always said he'd do better. For context, my love language is quality time. I know you already
It's
are.
really
You're
fucking
turning
up.
on her. You're
Right,
turning
no,
on her.
it seems like a tough match. My love language is quality time. Why'd you get married so quick? I don't know.
the
Yeah,
gamer,
but I
yeah.
guess you become who you are in.
And this seems like, I would say like single, dating to married in 3 years in your 20s, pretty quick.
Yeah. But to give them credit, it's like, I guess that's it's how it goes.
Yeah.
but also Go ahead. Let's read
right.
this because there's a thought I want to ask you about.
We had multiple arguments, civil conversations about him playing video games with friends after work for 3 to 4 hours per session. Oh, I already said this. At the end, he's always said he'd do better. For context, my love language is quality time. We both work really hard and some days have no energy to cook for ourselves. Needless to say, doing things together after work. So spending quality time, short or long, whenever we can, is really important to me. Recently, we got into a fight about the same thing again. He played video games with friends for almost 4 hours after coming home from work. I understood that he needed the gaming sesh to decompress, but was hoping we could have a little bit more time to ourselves before another workday start. Also, almost 4 hours of gaming was a very long time in my opinion. That's like half a damn workday. Indeed. I thought
I love the way she's like, you don't have to say, she doesn't have to like,
I mean,
like back this up. Like what? It's a problem. Like
it's a lot.
That half a work day, 1/8 of a week.
Well,
you know,
in her head, she's like, am I being this person,
right?
This like naggy person? But then she's like, no, I think I can understand because I have this argument in my head about random women. I think I don't want to generalize, but me and I think a lot of women do this thing mentally in their head when men are doing annoying things, and it's like, is it too much that I'm annoyed by this, or is it actually annoying? I don't want to, because no one wants to be that like naggy person who's like, you can't do this and you need to do that. But in your head, you're kind of like, maybe this, I think I'm kind of justified.
I understand that. I don't think it's wrong. I think it's interesting to hear said out loud, you know, like, cause you're like I'm sitting here being like, you got home at 6, you played till 10. Like, let's take a look at a normal day.
Yeah.
And then at 10, you what, like rolled into bed? When did you eat dinner? Like when did you acknowledge her when you walked in? Like he's like, FIFA, and then like smushes her face and goes to the TV. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought I didn't need to remind him since we had conversations before and had a mutual understanding. So I didn't say anything at first. See, that's the thing in her head. But then 3.5 hours went by. The angry bubble in my stomach exploded. I know exactly what she's talking about. She's just thinking about it over and over. Should I say something? Should I not say something? Should I say something? Should I not say something? Is this okay? Should I just leave it? Is it worth it? I don't know. I've had
no. This is making sense to me.
I confronted him. He got defensive and said, "So I'm like a kid that needs to have a timer set up. I can't play with my friends."
Yes. Jorge, are you a gamer? A little bit. What do you play?
He's like, I dabble.
That means he is.
Yeah, I play obscure games. I'm really into
obscure?
GeoGuessr. You guys ever heard of this?
What's that?
Yeah. This is gonna sound really stupid, but basically, you know, Google Maps, how you can go to different locations around the world, and it like takes you pictures and you can click around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this game drops you on a random location anywhere across the world, and you have to find out where you are. And then you click on a map of like, oh, I'm in London and that street, and you get points depending on how close you are to this location.
So it's like Wordle for like,
yeah, it's kind of like a Wordle type of puzzle game. So I play that a fair amount. It's like competitive,
and it's on
how many hours a week?
I play like an hour, maybe like late at night once Marina goes to bed. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it on your computer or is it on your phone?
Computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I play that. I mean, I also play FIFA and stuff, but.
What do you play FIFA on?
I play on a PS5.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I borrowed my friend's PS5. But this type of scenario, like, I would never get home and immediately play video games. Like, when I get home, I want to talk to my wife and I want to like interact with her.
We get it. You love your wife. She's a teacher. We get it. We get it. You fell in love on date 1. We get it. No. But this is strange.
Yeah, this is strange.
In the gamer community, this would be considered like childlike.
Excessive.
Agreed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I don't think this is acceptable behavior.
Okay.
I would agree.
Jorge's out.
And he also says, why didn't you tell me you wanted to watch TV or something together in the first place? Then I'd log off. This is so triggering to me because we literally have the same damn conversation. We've had the same conversation before. I'm not saying that he can't play with his friends, but this relationship also needs to be maintained and put in work. If we don't put in efforts, we are just like roommates with a legal document signed. My question is, how long of a gaming sesh is too long? I feel pity for myself for fighting for quality time, but I also feel guilty to make him upset. Any advice is greatly appreciated. Help a triggered hot mess batch. I think if you replace gaming with anything else,
right,
it still makes like it it sounds like an addiction.
No. You're totally right. And it's funny, like, because it's gaming, there's like, it makes him sound like a child. And then he's like, I have to be like a kid with playtime set up. And it's like, you're playing video games.
Clearly.
Like, don't act like I'm this person treating you like a child when you're acting like a child.
Right.
But again, to not like besmirch the gaming community, because adults do play. We have to live in reality where adults play. There's nothing wrong with playing. Fine.
There's nothing wrong with playing video games. Just like there's nothing wrong with drinking if you know how to do it in moderation.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of like I'm imagining this email with like he comes home from work, he immediately starts drinking. He doesn't stop drinking for 4 hours. If that was what I heard, I would say maybe you also have an issue. Well, he comes home, he immediately starts gaming. He doesn't stop gaming for 4 hours.
If he came home and went on Instagram for 4 hours, it's like we have to make sure we admit to like gaming's okay. Like,
that's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with any of that.
I think her biggest issue is what she wrote in the email. I feel pity for myself of fighting for quality time, and that's really what it is. When he's like, "You should have told me you wanted to watch TV," it's like,
why don't you want to watch TV?
Right.
With me?
Well, you haven't thought of me. You didn't think of like when we're like, you weren't coming home with a Jorge step, like a Jorge vibe of like, I want to see my wife and catch up on the day. Then what are we doing here? You know, like I would hope I would come home with a little Jorge in me, you know, of like, oh, I want to come home and see what happened. But also, you know, there's an element, let me play a little devil's advocate.
Sure.
And the hard part in a relationship where you're married, and this is kind of what I wonder, if you're talking all day over text, what is there like to talk about when you get home? Like maybe that's like, let's like look at things, you know, maybe he's feeling like, well, we text all day. I know what's going on in your life. I don't have a reason to check in. I think like that's something like in a couple that like,
then it's like, why live together?
Right, well, but I'm saying like in a couple, like you get into this like mode, maybe, I don't know. I'm giving like one example where I would go, how do we fix this? Like, is it giving each other less during, like my parents would leave in the morning and then my dad would come back. Hey, what happened today?
Yeah.
You know, there was no like consistent every 15-minute discussion that goes throughout the day that happens with some couples. Like I'm guilty of that when I'm in a relationship, just texting all day, and then you go.
I never speak to Mike during the day.
Never. I think that's a good thing.
Like, if I have something logistically that I need to know from him, otherwise that's kind of like the reason I don't do it, because I'm like, when we get to home, like we'll have like a real conversation. I don't need to be like,
this
we're doing our own thing during the
text
day.
Conversation. So that I don't know. That's one thing that came to my mind, but I don't know the idea that like I think you do these things to avoid your life.
That's what I'm saying. I would almost ask him to reflect. Like, is there something that I feel like is missing here? Is there something that you're trying to escape? That like you need to do this for so long every day, just like again with anything else.
Right, where I'm a side character.
Right.
Like, you know, this is almost like the symptom, not the.
That's what I'm saying. I'd be like, are you okay?
Yeah, because I know this, like even about myself. Like, what do I do when I try to avoid something? I get on my phone.
Yeah.
I go on TikTok, go on Instagram. I go play crosswords on the New York Times.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are things I do when I'm like, I'll get to my other shit later.
Right. You want to break.
Right. When I want to break from the world. And, you know, sometimes it's, you know, I think that's like, you know.
It's nice in moderation, for sure.
Of course. You want to, but like, I think like making this about the video games is kind of, I think what we're saying is the same. Like if you make it about the video games, like an hour a day, that's not going to make her feel better.
Right.
I think it's like.
Are you engaged with me when you're actually with me also is another thing that she should think about.
Right. And it's like, it's not like that she has to be this camp counselor who like, okay, we'll make plans and we'll schedule in the video game hour. And like, I think that's just going to be like not helpful.
Right.
Like if someone was like, well, okay, 1 hour a day, and then I'll come talk to you. I'd be like, I don't want to fucking talk to you. Like, I don't want to be fit into your.
Well, I want you to want to talk to me.
Right, and that's like one of those like funny
tropes,
relationship trope things. But it's like, well, that isn't like what will get them talking. It's why don't you want to come home and talk to me? Like,
right.
You know, like I come home ready to like exchange stories from the day and let's, be an active participant here.
Yeah, I think she needs to point to the things that she's missing out on from this habit. So it doesn't. I can understand why, without any explanation of that, he might feel like you're just trying to control me, or you're just trying to like set rules around me. But if she makes it about what she's missing out on in this scenario, I think that makes a lot more sense. It will make a lot more sense to him.
Right, like if you tell her to like play games with him. Like that, like it's like
she doesn't want to do that.
It's like, I don't know. It's to me to get home and do 4 hours of anything till 10 o'clock at night when you live together is like kind of bizarre.
I think that's excessive.
Yeah.
I think it's like anything else. Sometimes you like get into something and then you realize you're sort of like losing track of reality and you need to pull yourself out of it, or someone else is there to help you pull yourself out of it. And maybe he's like not the most mature of guys in his late 20s, even though he is married.
Right.
That's another possibility. Like,
right. I just want to play with my friends. Oh, you think that guy?
Just because I think sometimes there's a sense of like, oh, they're married, so they must be like Mr. Husband and soon to be dad,
suit.
whatever.
Yeah.
But like sometimes, you could get married early and still be like kind of, a guy acting like a guy in his early to mid 20s.
Right.
Now it's time to set some rules in this house.
I do rules. I don't think. Well, I think it's
kidding.
like, but like, I really do think if she was like, so why don't you think of me?
Right.
Like that's a
real
conversation.
That's a conversation that creates more intimacy.
Right.
Or doesn't.
Or you guys don't like each other. Let's do an awkward encounter.
Let's do it.
Dear J&J, love you guys, especially your critical thinking and rational approach to all time. Wow.
Love that.
What a compliment.
That never does well on TikTok.
We need way more of that across platforms, so thank you. Well, that ain't gonna happen. I'd been dating a guy for a few months, was spending the night at his house. We were goofing around on this bed. We were goofing around on the bed, and as he went to get up, I pulled him back down. The motion made him exhale loudly out of his nose, and along with that exhale came a huge booger that landed directly on my top lip.
Wow.
So they're goofing around. She's like, get over here. He's like, and then huge bug
right there.
right on the lip.
Does that feel a little bit of moisture?
He looked horrified. I immediately removed the bug and we burst out laughing, like stomach hurting, never ending silent laugh. Apparently, if you like someone enough, nothing can give you the ick.
Very true.
I stuck with him, and now we've been married for 11 years with 2 kids, still talking about the bug that brought them together. Think about this moment again makes me feel queasy. I have no idea how I just laughed it off. Sincerely, Boogie Lips.
Boogie Lips. I wouldn't mind this. If I liked the person, I agree.
It's a boogie.
It's funny.
How do you make a tissue dance?
Does it happen to the woman? Are you fine?
Totally fine.
Sorry, I interrupted your joke. Boogie.
Put a little boogie in it.
Yeah.
No, this is nothing to me.
You like it.
I'd take the boogie off my lip, stick it up my own nose, snort it back at her.
Wow. That's love.
Little snot rocket
Find
right
you a
back.
soulmate who would do that.
Anybody hey, if you're wet right now, email the show. I'll go on a date with you.
I appreciate that that opinion because I always have a cold.
Do you?
I do. I get a cold a lot.
Do you use nose drops?
No.
I'm addicted. I'm
nose drops. Should I get them?
They'll clear you right up.
What are they called?
Afrin.
Afrin,
people.
yeah.
I mean, there's people. It's like suntan lotion. Like
it's addicted.
It's
Come home 4 hours a day.
Just snorting Afrin.
I gotta get some.
I have some with me. You want to use mine?
I don't think that's a sharing thing.
Okay.
Right?
I my whole life, like I can't deal with a stuffy nose. Like I can't.
Yeah. It's tough to breathe.
Right.
I like a little NyQuil at night.
Just even when I'm not sick.
I mean.
Put a little in my coffee. What do you think I'm drinking right now?
Bring it in the Uber.
Is that coffee?
What do they Justin Bieber? What did Justin Bieber used to call that? Like scissor?
Yeah, that was
the cough medicine.
The cough medicine thing, yeah. Trigger
right.
alert to anyone going through a cough medicine phase.
I mean,
it could be.
Could be. All right.
Are we off the rails today?
A little bit. It's that week.
It's that
I think
week.
It's the week to be off the rails.
We tape 2 days in a row. When we go 2 days in a row, that second episode, that's the one you want to listen to.
Because that's when we really, the censors come off.
Right. You think you know what I think about speech pathologists?
You do now.
Sorry,
I'm
Jorge
sure-
just told me
we haven't gotten the response yet. I guess we'll find out. Yeah.
the community will come after us.
All right, let's do another.
They're
email.
always going to be right. They're
Yeah.
not going to be.
I mean,
I'm always going to be
you're
wrong.
the monster in
Yeah,
this
I'm the monster because I
100%.
said that they used a profession to grift us into this idea that they're
Pathologist
heroes.
sounds quite like impressive.
Sounds a lot like pathological liar.
Ooh, shots
Ooh.
fired.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
And you better pray you never need a speech pathologist.
I better pray there's no speech pathologists in Buffalo.
The worst combination.
Right.
All right. Dear J and J, first time emailer here. I love the pod so much, and you two have helped me on my various dating adventures.
You're welcome.
Here's the situation. I've been dating my boyfriend for about 8 months, and things have been amazing.
That's why they're emailing here.
He gets along with my family so well, and he's incredibly kind and generous. He's someone who is so patient with me, even if I'm being unreasonable. That's
Good.
nice.
That's nice.
Here's my problem. I'm an incredibly anxious person. Even though I
Here's
trust
why she's so unreasonable.
Even though I trust my boyfriend, I still have this jealousy towards his previous relationship. He dated this girl all of college and broke up when they graduated. Since then, he has dated other people. I have zero reason to believe he has any feelings for her, but one day when I was feeling very insecure and anxious, I snooped on his phone. Now, before you say anything, yes, I know this was a terrible thing to do. And like you say, if you're going looking, you will find something you don't like. Well, I found something. As you always do.
Yeah.
She texted him on his birthday, which was right when we started dating, and he responded saying he hopes her family dog is doing well and to give him scratches for him. Oh my God, this guy is dead. It's over.
Scratches to the dog.
Give him scratches. All right. I also just a note, she definitely went so far back. She found this text from when they first started dating.
So that's 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Well, if it was,
she got in there.
well, what she did was, I guess to give her the
She
most grace,
Looked for her name.
she searched the name of the
Okay.
person she was
She
most
wasn't
jealous.
just reading all of the
Right.
texts.
She didn't just go
Okay.
scrolling. She had a name. She was looking for something very specific.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
usually, I would imagine if you get someone's phone, you don't get it for like hours to be scrolling back 8 months.
3 days later, I delivered the phone back.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
also found a picture of her laying on her stomach, and she's in a thong, and you can see her ass. Where did she find that picture?
Well, if she clicked info, like if this guy doesn't,
Oh,
like
okay, from way
this is
back
all
when.
like
Yeah.
kind of in the land of like,
Well-
I could understand how she would find her way to the picture of this woman.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, also like, not to like, I could find it.
right. And you could find it quickly.
Yeah.
If I gave
I don't think you could find it.
I think I
Could you
could.
find it? You could find it?
If someone said to me, I'm jealous of this girl named so and so, my move would be to go to his text, search the name so and so.
Press the info button.
The last message might have been the happy birthday from when they started dating, which pretty reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the info button. Let's see the pictures they've sent back and forth. Thong.
Right.
I'm right.
It's like the worst 30 seconds of her life.
Right. And she followed the trail that's not like it's not a hidden trail though. That
Right.
is kind of my point. Like this is a trail that has been tread. Like
Yes. Not uncommon.
right. It's not like she went to like a file named book reports and it was all pictures of
She didn't
this
stumble
ass.
upon this.
Right.
Yeah. Although the picture was from 2017, also helpful.
Right.
It made me really sad to think that he has this on his phone. Now he always says he never deletes anything on his phone, and I just don't think he realizes he even still has it, but a small part of me wonders if he ever looks back at this picture. Here are my questions. I am feeling so guilty and sick about this whole thing. Do I tell him I snooped? If I do I have a right to be upset about the text in the picture? Also, do I deserve an explanation from him as well as the expectation that he deletes the picture? Please help, an anxious snooping bitch.
I'm gonna be hard on her.
I have thoughts too.
Do you want to go for
I can go first.
Please.
Okay. I think she is creating a dramatic situation that doesn't exist in her head. And I agree with the statement. If you go looking, you're going to find something that upsets you. And I can guarantee that someone who looked on her phone would find something that upset them too if they looked hard enough. We all have things in our past that we said to people in the moment that we said them that we wouldn't say now.
Right.
Or pictures that we sent that we wouldn't send now, or and here's the thing, people have past relationships. They have past histories with people, and someone can love you Just because someone loves you doesn't mean they've never loved anyone else in their life.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure Dr. Naomi has some sort of like thing for this.
Solution?
Like, or like some sort, like some sort of like doctor's
intention.
Well,
maybe, yeah.
intention, but like the idea that like you want, to me, it sounds like if you're anxious, you just want to be right that you're anxious. You know, like
she wants to confirm her own fears.
Her own fears, right? And when she writes, gets along with me even when I'm being unreasonable. I'm an incredibly anxious person. Even though I trust my boyfriend, I still have this jealousy towards his previous relationship. Like, this is your problem that you
totally.
wanted to make sure you were right about. So then you went down the road that you could only be right about. Like, I guess, like
you see something in there.
You
you
got his phone. You searched the one name that makes you feel anxious, even though he's dated other people. Right. The one name that makes you angry. You searched it. Then you found text because, yes, they have a history. Then you clicked info to see the pictures they've sent, and you found a picture from 2000. It is 2023.
Yeah,
it is 6 years ago.
Almost 2024.
You have, right. This is, to me, and I'm being hard, and I'm not saying this.
And it's a happy birthday text, which is like the easiest text to send.
Absolutely. And he's someone who you wrote gets along with my family. I'm sorry you found out you're not that special. This is a nice guy who gets along with families. So send back scratches to the dog is in this guy's nature. Like, this all tracks.
Right.
Like, none of this, and the idea that you should be, am I allowed to be upset? No. You need to go speak with someone about your anxiety. You need to go talk with someone about your trust. And like, I think this is like, this is a professional that needs, not us. We're not professionals. I'm just saying, like, in my mind, this guy has done the opposite of something wrong. This guy was nice to an ex, has a healthy relationship, didn't even think to delete the text because it mattered so little to him.
Pure.
Right. Now, is it in his capacity to do wrong? Of course, like anybody. But I'm saying, like,
I would not tell him that you looked. Because you have absolutely nothing to be upset about.
Right.
I mean, that's not true. You could be upset. You could be upset about something, about the idea of the person that you love having been. The idea of thinking about that person with someone else can be upsetting, and I don't deny that. And I think we've all felt that at some point. If you let your imagination go there.
If I was your boyfriend, you said that to me, I'd go, sounds like a you problem. That sucks. Right. I'm okay. I'm not okay with you sleeping with other men. I can get over that.
That you have.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But like, that's what I'm saying. He hasn't done anything wrong. I wouldn't tell him. I certainly don't think she has a right to be upset about the text in the picture.
Not at all.
And honestly, I would tell a therapist that you did this. I wouldn't tell him.
Yeah. I don't think this like does anything for your relationship.
I would learn from this experience, and I would never do this again, and I would not tell him. I don't think you need to tell him.
Right. And here's
what do you think she needs to tell him?
No, I wouldn't want to know. I wouldn't want to. Maybe I would want to know so I could like.
I know, that's what I'm saying. If you think
I
think if you never do this again, you don't need to tell him.
Right. Well,
maybe that's not the correct.
Right.
Thing,
if you acknowledge that this is your issue that you kind of have to work on, like, you have a jealousy issue, like, and I don't know. It's
and she does. Do I deserve an explanation from him? No.
An explanation of what? Having a picture,
as well as the expectation that he deletes the picture. No. Like, you're the problem.
Does he look at it? I don't fucking know. Who cares?
That's what I'm saying. You cannot police thoughts.
Right. And if you do, you're going to be fucking alone.
That's the thing.
Like, I don't know anyone who would sign up for this. I don't think anyone
who would want someone policing their thoughts.
Right. So it's like you have things you got to work on. And, I think it's okay to let him in on like, hey, sometimes I think about you with someone else and it makes me extremely jealous. Like, I think that's a different story.
Yeah.
Like, the thought of you, like these are things you could let him know that like
how
your anxiety works, and those are okay.
I think the longer she's with him, the less she will care about this. I used to be very jealous in the beginning of dating. Like, I think that as someone who also says that had anxiety, I used to be very jealous, very like overanalyzing of every little interaction or thing. But the longer you're with someone, the more she says she trusts him, but like she doesn't really trust him. Maybe she doesn't know him that well yet. It's 8 months.
And yeah, this might not work out and you might feel pain. Like you have to open yourself up to that, to like, and this is me talking to me.
Right.
You have to open yourself up to difficulty if you want anything good.
Right.
And the difficult thing sometimes is going, I trust someone enough to not hurt me when they very well could.
Right.
So. And
big lesson, don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
It is so funny though, like
no one wants the answer to that. No one wants the answer of, have you ever looked at a half naked picture of someone you used to date? Because the answer is usually yes.
Right.
And there's no and you don't really want that answer, so don't ask.
She found nothing and still got mad. Do you know what I mean? Like she found nothing. You went, found nothing, still angry, still upset, still feeling worse.
Yeah.
Or the other answer was he's a cheater. You know, like it was a no-win.
Right. This is the best case scenario.
Give me his number. I'm calling him. He's going to dump you in a week.
What would be the best?
No, I'm kidding.
What would be the best case scenario of looking in this? You find they deleted it. They've never spoken to them, I guess.
I guess, like, if she had searched the name, would she think, well, I guess he deletes the conversations that they have all the time? Like, this is how her brain goes. If she's gone to picture from 2017 makes me feel bad, he needs to delete it. She could have gone to no conversation with Rachel Smith. That must mean they're still talking and he deletes the conversation after she's in conspiracy
land. There's
land.
absolutely nothing she could find that wouldn't upset her if she's looking to be upset.
So let's play some games.
Let's do it.
UUP at
find a good therapist.
Okay. Dr. Naomi's doing group sessions. Red flag or deal breaker. You ready?
I'm ready.
He's a mama's boy. I know where Jordana's going to go on this one.
You know how I feel about mama's boys.
She is not a mama's boy gal.
Mine now.
Love you guys. Here's a red flag or deal breaker for you. His 26-year-old male mother calls him my perfect baby boy in front of both of you every time you see her. And he seems to enjoy it. And has asked why you think this is odd. Likewise, she asks you to help him out by vacuuming his room when you come over, since she does not live there, and he does not say anything when she says this in front of both of you. LOL, excited to hear your take.
Okay. My perfect little boy, I could leave. That's fine.
I think that's okay.
Like almost kind of cute.
And I can understand like him going, Mom, stop it.
Right.
I could also understand him going, that's what my mom does.
Right.
And
it's like, there's like something a little I'm not like a monster. I like when moms love their children.
Right. And the male side of the father, that's my perfect little girl.
Right.
I'd be like, that's cool.
Kind of cute.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it's
good
fine.
for them.
The second part, big issue. She suggests that I vacuum.
Big issue.
I vacuum his room, and he doesn't say anything.
What if he doesn't expect you to do it? Because I could see my mom saying this to someone. Make sure, my mom would look at someone and go, make sure he cleans up his shit.
He does it to himself, sure.
Right.
Fine. Make sure you make sure you vacuum his room. No. That would annoy me. I'd be like.
And he says nothing. What if he's like, Mom?
No. If he says mom, that's
you
fine.
need a mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I need something to be like stop. Like, you're like, she's obviously not going to do that.
I'm trying to think of like what the version I would get from, and protect my daughter. Like me?
I guess.
I'm a pussy.
Or and buy her a big engagement ring.
That's different. That's different. I would laugh at that.
And make sure you get her a big birthday gift.
I think that's different than clean the room.
It is different. And you clean her room. Make sure you clean her room because she's super messy.
I'd be like, I'll make it messier. I don't know. I would fuck with it. I wouldn't even take it seriously.
To think of what a good.
I just wouldn't take someone like that seriously. I'd be like, like I would laugh at them. Like,
right.
If a mom said that, I'd be like, oh, sure. I don't know. Like, to me, like, the idea that he has to put a line in the sand, like, mother.
I think it's rude.
She doesn't clean up after me. I don't know. I think it's rude to him, too. He's a fucking mess.
But I think it's ruder to her that she's asking her to do this.
How seriously do you think this woman is asking her?
It would annoy me.
It would.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. It wouldn't annoy me If they were like, I would just not do it.
I mean, you could do that. That's one route.
Right. Like,
But
if
then
they're
I
like,
wonder, like, what else? Like, how far does this go?
well, that's fair, because then it's like sometimes you're saying the quiet part out loud, as they say on the internet these days. Like, it is they're letting you know their expectations from you once this becomes, if ever, a marriage.
Who's getting like to say whatever they want in this relationship?
And also who they're going to blame when the rug isn't vacuumed when they come visit the house. That's what they're saying out loud. Yeah,
and
that's
I think
fair.
that's an annoying thing to have the person not get in on early and show you early that they're going to have your back on that.
Sure. I don't know if they're going to change that. Like, that's who those parents are.
Right.
It is.
Well,
listen, they're in old gender roles and all those things. But
well, if your mom said this to someone you were dating, make sure you vacuum his room. Would you say anything to her?
I would. I don't even know. I don't listen to her with those things. So I don't know.
You just wouldn't say anything.
I'd be like, enough. But she would say it differently. She would say, she would openly say in front of the person that I'm with, who would date him the way he keeps a toilet?
That's better.
That's better.
That's better.
Just
'Cause
shit
that's
on me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Much better.
Okay. I agree with that. Because it's at least like, this is the person not the person, you're not putting a job on someone else.
Yeah. I agree. I think it might be a deal breaker if he didn't say anything.
Interesting.
Not even a mom.
You need one mom.
Yeah.
Enough.
Otherwise, it's not good.
Right.
All right. Let's do another one. He dresses like a meme for your first date. Hey, J&J, awkward interaction here. I went on a first date last night with a guy who intentionally dressed like The Rock. I'm talking full outfit. See pic. We'll post it on the Instagram if you go to the U Up Instagram.
If you've ever been on the internet, you know the picture.
Yes.
It's the black turtleneck with the
black muscle tee tucked into jeans and the chain. For context, he's very into fitness and has a very similar look and complexion and body type. He didn't acknowledge he was dressed like The Rock, and it almost felt like he was fucking with me. Red flag or deal breaker, your date mimics and dresses exactly like a celebrity in their everyday life.
So, if I'm to understand this correctly, he was dressed like him by chance or by, like, on purpose but didn't acknowledge it?
It seems like this outfit isn't the craziest outfit I've ever seen.
Especially right now. This is like fashionable now, right?
Is it?
Like,
I wouldn't know.
Candace?
I wouldn't be into
I
this
go
look.
to our youngest person in the room.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that's a normal outfit. I think because he has a similar complexion and body type, maybe he has a similar haircut.
Right.
And she just sees the meme.
Right.
That's the thing.
I think if you wore that, I wouldn't be like, you're dressed like The Rock.
Right.
I don't think. That wouldn't be my first
You don't think I have the
He
same
looked
build
really
as The
nice.
Rock? Okay.
I mean, he's wearing a fanny pack. Was he wearing a fanny pack? That would have been.
She didn't mention that part.
Yeah.
So
No.
I think he probably thought he looked really nice, and she just sees a meme.
Got dressed up.
Right. This
on
is
his
the
nice
thing
necklace and
yeah,
watch.
but this is like a look that you see right now, currently. Like,
Okay. Yeah, I don't think this
the
is a big
turtleneck
deal.
with the necklace is like happening. Not for me. I couldn't wear a turtleneck. I'd look like
Should have worn that for this episode.
a box. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it not being into the look. This isn't really like my style of menswear. But I wouldn't think that. I wouldn't be like, oh, they're fucking with me. They're dressing like The Rock.
Right. If it came out at the end that they were fucking with me, that's a deal breaker.
Sure.
Like, you're not taking the date seriously. Oh, you didn't notice my big joke? I'd be
like
like
you're
annoyed.
just like Santa not acknowledging it. Like, I don't think it's so obvious that
Right.
that the outfit would be that.
Right. So this is fine.
Like, if you changed the face on this picture, I don't think I would immediately know what it was.
You don't know this meme?
I do know the meme, but like, I don't think I would put it together so quickly.
Right. No, I'm with you. I think this is like, if he just dressed this way and it happened to remind you of it,
That's what it kind of
that's
sounds
okay.
like
Yeah,
to me.
yeah. But if it's like at the end, he's like, I can't believe you never said anything about my outfit. I was fucking with you. I'd be like, wait, I don't want to be in your like fucking
Right. No,
punked
totally.
game show.
Yeah, but I think black muscle tee tucked into jeans and a chain, that's not like so revolutionary.
no.
All
I
right.
think you got to chill, babe.
Yeah.
That's
You're
my-
the deal breaker.
You can buy my chill, babe t-shirts. Think you got it. What if I started a new
that.
catchphrase in 2024?
Chill, babe?
Think you got to chill, babe.
I don't
No?
know.
No
if I
good?
like that, yeah.
I think you got to chill, babe.
That's what we love hearing. Nothing more when you're getting upset. Being
Right.
told to chill. That always.
Easy there, big fella.
Whoa.
Whoa. Okay, last one. Jared and Jordana. First time, long time, feather. Love the podcast, all your socials. I am crying, laughing every episode.
Every episode.
That's the goal.
Wow. Even this one.
I've been seeing this guy for a few months now. Every time we go out to dinner or order delivery to stay in, he always orders for me. As in, he chooses what I eat, saying something like, "You're going to love this place." He typically gets around 3 to 4 dishes and we share. When he does this with things like sushi or pizza, I don't mind. But most of the time I would like a say in what I get to eat. Even if I text him earlier in the day and say, "Hey, let's order in pad thai tonight," he will still make an order for whatever he wants. The other day he chose Korean barbecue and everything was so spicy I couldn't even eat any of it. I went home and ate a second dinner, LOL. What's a hungry girl to do? Why do you think he does this? My friends say he's just trying to be nice and make a decision rather than going back and forth deciding. Guys always say girls can't make up their minds to eat. Well, I know what I want. Red flag, deal breaker. Sincerely, where's my pad thai?
I think if she said, "Hey, I actually prefer to order myself, like to pick what I'm eating," and then he kept doing this, deal breaker.
Right.
I could see why if she hasn't said anything, he might be like, she's into this. And honestly, I could sort of agree with her in some aspects. I eat most things, and sometimes I'm like, great, like I don't have to think about it.
I'm in shock. You and this emailer
really
are way more empathetic to this guy's position than I can believe. Like, to me, he sounds like kind of a dick.
He does sound like a little bit of a dick.
Right? Like,
but if she hasn't said anything, I could see why he'd be like, she's into it.
She likes it. But I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Like, it's a little below. Oh,
I think
the
it's
ordering
weird that
for
he
the
wouldn't
lady.
ask. Right.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It's like a douchey. Like, to me, like, that's the fun of going on a date with someone is like negotiating the menu. What do you think? What do you think? You know,
sometimes I'm like, I'll eat anything. You know, when you go to a big, when you go to a big dinner and then one person takes charge.
Of course.
And they're like, they pick all the apps and the things. I love that.
Listen, I'm with you, but you have to someone has to acknowledge I am doing that.
Right.
Like, I think there's a politeness in like I went with a group of people to Laser Wolf. You know, the rooftop place. It's
Brooklyn.
It's in Brooklyn. It's on top of the Huxton Hotel, I think. And they do it is a shared order place. But I said to the table, I go, I've been here before. Do you guys want me to just do this and get as much food as possible and get the right amount?
Ask.
And then everyone's like, love it. Like, people were like,
amazing.
Game.
Yes,
love it.
go.
So happy.
Yes.
And my other friend, he's the sommelier. He's like, I'll do the wine. Done it. We're all like, beautiful. Love it.
Perfect.
Cocktails, wherever you guys order. Love it. So I think this guy not even being like, I think if I said to someone on a date, I was like, what are you thinking here? And they were like, I'm game for everything here. And I'm like, do you want me to make some decisions? And to me, that's that's a conversation.
Well, what if that happened once and then he just kind of ran with it? Would that be a different story?
No, I think it's still kind of douchey. I don't know.
I think it's douchey to not ask someone's spice level preference at the very least.
Korean barbecue, you're just taking chances.
Least.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He sounds kind of controlling,
right? And it's
once or twice though, I would kind of be into this. If he's just if I came over and he was like, I ordered a bunch of Thai food, I'd be like, cool,
right?
But I agree. I think if it's all the time and he's never once asked her and she's never expressed that she likes it.
She went home and had a second dinner. That's
yeah, I would feel really bad if I ordered food and it was too spicy for the person I was.
Right, I think it's a lack of respect.
I could agree. I changed my mind. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know. I not even to ask what do you think? Does this order look good to you? That would be.
I agree. Well, I mean, she's not saying that he didn't do that, but she's not saying he did do it. So.
The other day he chose Korean barbecue and everything was so spicy. That's not what do you think of Korean barbecue tonight? Even that is more. Right. You just chose Korean barbecue?
If she said, let's order in pad thai, and then he doesn't get pad thai, right. That's fucked up.
Right. Yes, absolutely. I don't know. It's funny.
He can get pad thai and whatever he wants, but it'd be weird if he didn't get pad thai.
Right. I literally said one thing I want.
No, you're right. He does sound like an asshole. I changed my mind.
Would I break up with them?
Here's the thing. You have to say, hey,
what the fuck is going on here?
I actually I don't like this food.
Right.
I prefer something else. I think it's weird that she hasn't said that.
Right.
Also.
Yeah, she got to say something.
Like maybe he did it a couple times and she didn't say anything and he was. I agree. It's weird to not say. She's clearly not too passive on this, and he is kind of an asshole. So it's coming together in a weird way.
Gotta ask for consent. That's
Ordering consent?
Yes. We did it again.
We did it. We solved
dating.
We'll be back
next year.
We'll be back on New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. Boom.
Bye. The You Up Podcast is produced by Jorge Morales-Pico, Sean Kilby, and Candice Maniga. Editing by Jorge Morales-Pico and Shannon Sassone. Social media by Candice Maniga. Guest booking by Ali Friedlander. Be sure to follow @u.up.podcast on Instagram and send us your emails to uup@betches.com.